Peace, everybody. What's good? It's the boy Coach Malachi Williams, and you are now tuned to New Media Today USA Boxing. Let's go. All right, everybody, look, check this out. I just saw some interesting news on Twitter today. Rick Glaser, he just released the Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius pay-per-view numbers. Come to find out that the Robert Helenius Deontay Wilder pay-per-view numbers only sold 77,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, I know what you're going to say. We haven't heard anything from Dan Rafael, and I told you guys during the show this weekend that we would not hear anything from Dan Rafael. Dan Rafael was very quick to point out Canelo and Triple G sold 600,000, 650,000 or something like that pay-per-view buys in America. DAZN released their numbers saying that, hey, we did over 1 million worldwide. And Dan Rafael went back and admitted that. He said, yeah, but you only sold 600 or something thousand. Basically, he was saying that that was a flop. Okay, fine. If you feel that that was a flop, Dan Rafael, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you or anyone else feeling that way, you or Mike Coppinger or whoever the case may be. Tell me this here. Why you haven't released the numbers of Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius? Rick Glaser released the numbers to say they did 77,000. It did less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys, which is I guess it's a success. It would be considered a success for Wilder at this point in his career because Robert Helenius is a Eurobum. We know this. He's a Eurobum. Now, maybe this is his market value from this point forward. Putting these fights, what happens is when you put non-pay-per-view fights on pay-per-view, they're going to flop. This is what it does. Now, this may be a success depending on how much money they paid out to Wilder. I'm hearing what I saw online. They say Wilder got paid $20 million to fight Robert Helenius. Now, I don't believe that, not one bit, but let's say he did get paid $20 million. And let's say Robert Helenius got paid $1 million to fight Deontay Wilder from one website that I went to. If that's the case, now I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but you pay one guy $20 million and you pay another guy $1 million, and then you still had to pay Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, and the rest of the undercard. That tells you everything you need to know. If you only sold 77,000 pay-per-view buys, an event at the Barclays Center wasn't a sellout, you gave out a bunch of comps. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that is operating at a loss. You get what I'm saying? So I'm happy that Wilder made his money. That's good. Where the PBC is going to go from here, I don't know. But I think the fans are really showing these promotional companies, you cannot keep giving us no good pay-per-view buys, no good pay-per-view fights, non-pay-per-view fights, so to speak. You can't keep giving us non-pay-per-view fights and putting them on pay-per-view and just think everybody's going to buy it. Apparently, a lot of Deontay Wilder's fan base, they really didn't buy the pay-per-views. If it only did 77,000 pay-per-view buys, that tells you everything you need to know. If you listen to a lot of these guys online, especially on YouTube and Twitter, you would think that, you know, these guys have all of this money. They're going to go out and buy and support their fighter with I didn't buy the fight. I didn't buy it at all. You know what I mean? Because it was a non-pay-per-view fight. And apparently a lot of people felt that way. The fans are not stupid. Even the casuals are not stupid. So it tells me everything I need to know. A lot of you guys who do a lot of capping on Twitter and on YouTube, guess what? You do all of that capping, but you didn't support your boy Deontay Wilder. 77,000 pay-per-view buys? That's all Wakanda can come up with? That's all you can come up with. 77,000 pay-per-view buys? Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this. And I know what you're going to say. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Oh, man, you hating. You hating. I'm not hating at all. I'm just stating the obvious. And I said this. We did a poll. On my show. As a matter of fact, let me show you the poll I did. We're going to go to Dan Rafael's. We're going to go to Dan Rafael's site first. Let's go to Dan Rafael's site. And let me show you guys this here. We're going to go to Dan Rafael's Twitter feed because Dan Rafael, sources say that he's on the payroll of our good brother Al Heyman. That was sources say. I don't know how true that is. Sources say, according to sources. You know what I mean? Just gonna put that out there. But let's see. We did a poll. I'm pulling it up right now. Where's the poll? Bam. Have the poll right here. Let me go ahead and blow this up right quick. Let me blow this up so you guys can see this. So you can see this for yourself, right? And let me go ahead and share my screen. Because I thought that this fight would at least I figured it would do 100,000 or less. I thought the fight would do 100,000 pay-per-view buys or less, guys, and it did that. It did less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Let's go right here. Let me show you something. Let me hide my face. Now, as you can see right here, this is the poll we did. We did this poll 3 days ago, the day of the fight. How many pay-per-view buys you're guessing Wilder versus Helenius sold? 1.1 thousand people participated in this vote, right? In this poll, right? 6% said 300 to 400,000. That was very optimistic. 11% of the people said that 200 to 300,000. 33% of the people said that the pay-per-view sales would be anywhere between 100 to 200,000, and 49%, which I'm a part of the 49%, said that less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, this is what the people said in the poll. And then if I go to the comment section, you will see exactly what they're saying here. Let's go over here to Dan Rafael. Let's see if Dan Rafael released those numbers the way he released the Canelo Alvarez and Triple G numbers in 2 days. Did he release any numbers on any of his sources? Any of his sources tell him what Wilder and Helenius did? Let's see, 54 minutes. He haven't put anything there. Okay. He hasn't put anything there yet. There's nothing there from Dan Rafael. He's talking about Chisora and Tyson Fury. Let's continue. Let's see. He's talking about Chisora and Tyson Fury. What else is he talking about? All right. I don't see anything about pay-per-view numbers there. What's going on? Let's continue to go down this yellow brick road. Dan Rafael, the sources say, guy, right? Sources say, okay, Mr. Sources, did your PBC sources tell you anything out of the PBC? I guess not. 18 hours on went by, we still don't hear anything. Okay, let's go right here. He dropped something on October the 19th, which was yesterday, right? He said, waiting on the promise offer mega fights for Anthony Joshua. So now they're talking about Anthony Joshua and Tyson and Deontay Wilder mega fight, a fight that should have happened 30,000 years ago. You see Malik Scott back here, Shelly Finkel, Don House, and you have Joey Scott right here. And so, as you can see right here, Dan Rafael, for some reason, his sources within the PBC did not give him those numbers. But let's go over here and see, can we find some sources for Mike Coppinger? Let's see, can we find Mike Coppinger's sources? Let's see, can we find some Mike Coppinger sources, guys? Let's see. All right, Mike Coppinger, you have a lot of sources in the PBC, right? Let's see. Do you have anything? All right, I don't hear nothing right there. October the 18th, nothing there. Let's go up again. Mike Coppinger, yeah, okay, all right. As you can see, guys, Mike Coppinger doesn't have anything neither. Let's continue. Let's go down. Maybe it's something that I'm missing. I do have cataracts in both of my eyes. October the 17th was the last time. October the 18th was the last time Mike Coppinger put a tweet. So this is October the 17th. This is October the 18th. Nothing there. So as you can see, guys, even the sources say Mike Coppinger, his sources didn't tell him anything about Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius pay-per-view numbers, so they don't know nothing. And Dan Rafael sources didn't tell him anything about Robert Helenius and Deontay Wilder pay-per-view numbers. So I guess we're going to have to take what Rick Glaser says as the truth, because if anytime those other guys come out and say something about your favorite fighters, you take it and run with it. So we're going to take what Rick Glaser say and run with it as well. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's see. Do you have any receipts that Rick Glaser said this, coach? You're just lying. You're hating. And Rick Glaser and all. Okay, that's fine. Let's go over here and see. Rick Glaser. Let's go to Mr. Rick Glaser. Rick, what numbers do you have for Wilder and the Wilder pay-per-view numbers and Robert Helenius, right? Let's go right here. Let's see what Mr. Rick Glaser has to say. Right? All right, let's go right here, guys. He's the only one that's going on record telling us these numbers. He says, Wilder Helenius, hashtag, pay-per-view buys isn't as bad as anticipated. Boy, hush, this is terrible. He said it did a total of 77,000 homes. That's good for a comeback fight that shouldn't even have been pay-per-view. I totally agree with that it shouldn't have been pay-per-view, but I totally disagree with you, Rick Glaser, saying that that's good. That's nothing nowhere good. There's nothing good about selling 77,000 pay-per-view buys when you are someone by the name of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who's supposed to be the face of boxing, the cash cow of the sport, one of the cash cows of the sport. This is ridiculous. With the WBC ordering Wilder, hashtag Ruiz next, if that fight happens, that's a pay-per-view fight that PBC can probably hang their hat on. So, Wilder versus Ruiz, I agree this would be a pay-per-view fight. I don't think that these guys, I'm not even going to talk about the money aspect of it. We'll just throw that to the side. But this is what happens when you face a Euro bomb. This is what the pay-per-view sales are. Dan Rafael hasn't said anything. He's quiet as a church mouse. Mike Coppinger hasn't said anything. He's quiet as a church mouse. So this tells you everything that you need to know. So this is breaking news. Deontay Wilder, Robert Helenius, pay-per-view buys only sold 77,000 pay-per-view buys. Let's give both of these men a round of applause. We're going to give them a round of applause, guys. Let everybody know what time it is. Beautiful. Round of applause from both men. Now, guys, let's hope that we'll be able to get these non-pay-per-view fights free on regular cable instead of making non-pay-per-view fights, pay-per-view fights, because this is what happens. This is a success. You know what I mean? This is a success. So I think all of you, you know, all everybody who support the Bomb Squad, and I do like the Bomb Squad, I support them. We should be happy about this. Now, I am kind of disappointed. I thought, you know what I mean, it should have done more based on someone of Deontay Wilder's statue. But there you have it, guys. Other than that, that's it. It's that boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. New Media Today USA Boxing. We do have a show on today, later on today at 3 o'clock. Please be there. We do have a fight party that we're throwing tonight for Kid Austin. Kid Austin has a fight on the zone. We're throwing tonight. So we working, baby. We working, baby. We getting it in. Other than that, that's it. It's the boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. New Media Today USA Boxing. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.